Hey, kia ora, Helen Brahms here, coming to you live from Mesa in Arizona. Hope you've all had a super fantastic sparkling Boxing Day or Shake It Up Saturday, depending on, well, there's no reason why you can't celebrate both. Um, but it's been a very interesting day here. You would have heard earlier about Ziffy making a big fuss when we were over at the dog park this morning, and she saw the mail vehicle, the mail truck come up, and um, she got a treat then. Well, she got a treat when the mail carrier came around again to deliver my parcel, which I have to say is the most amazing parcel I have um, received. It was from my friend Mary Warren, and it was a bag full of really cool stuff. There was like samples in there for skincare things, masks, and I've been thinking lately. I thought, oh, I got to do a mask lately. I got to do a mask on my face. I was actually thinking about it like a couple of days ago, and and then I was looking around. I was going, I don't have any masks to put on my face, like scrubs um, or hydration masks or peeling masks or anything like that, the deep cleaning ones. And I got this really cool package in the mail, which has these samples of different masks and scrubs. It has this really cool. I've actually been looking for something like this too. I don't know how she knows about these things, but this thing here is a fastener. So if you've got like a cape on, you can clip it onto each side and it will keep the cape closed. And there's emery boards in here. There's a really cool letter. There's these nail pressy things in here. Um, and all this really cool, and there was chocolate in there too, but the chocolate's in the refrigerator because it's a little warm here today. But there's all this stuff, these sample packs from a company called, what's it called? It was on one of these, hang on. So I had to get the glasses out for that one. It was on here somewhere. I can't find it now. Probably because I don't have my phone out. I was using my phone as a magnifying glass. And the light is really bad here because I can't see what I'm reading. What was this stuff? Something posh. That looks really cool. I've never heard. Oh, Perfectly Posh. So there was a whole bunch of sample stuff from Perfectly Posh, which is really, really cool. So Mary, thank you so much for this package. Perfect timing, especially with the stuff that's in here. And so I can do my nails. But I like this clippy thing. I haven't even taken it out of here yet. But I like see, it's a fastener thing, and it's got these clips that you put on it. So if you've got like a cape on, and you want to hold it closed, or you've got a blanket around your shoulders and you want to hold it closed like a cape, you can attach these fasteners to each side of the cape and it'll help keep it closed. Isn't that cool? So I'd actually been looking for something like this. So this is perfect because I have all my Turkish towels that I like to use in the summertime as um, kind of like I use them as sarongs and things, and this will be perfect to help hold them closed. So thank you so much. And then there's body scrubs in here and facial masks and nail things and chocolate. I've already had one piece of the 4 pieces that were in there, so it's been very good. So it was a beautiful surprise to receive that. So thank you so much, Mary Warren, for sending me that amazing bag, and I can't wait to get in there and put a mask on my face. Although I have to go find my headbands to hold my hair off my face because, as you can see, it's getting long and in my face. But I did a little bit of work today, a little bit here, a little bit there, um, and stopped for lunch. And around the time I was stopping for lunch, I got a text message from my mum who said, "Hey, we just sent you an email with a family mystery in it." And I was like, "Ooh, we like these." And so I went and read the email, and I was like, "Ooh, this is really good." But because I was on my lunch break, I sort of thought, well, I can't spend too much time on it. So let me do an initial look, see what I actually have in our family tree regarding this article she had sent me about a possible relative. She'd sent me an article that could be a possible relative. Um, and let me look to see what information I have in the tree already that could possibly be this person. And so I found the information, and the information I had in my tree was like matching up with people in the article, and I was like, okay. And so then I did a quick search and found the obituary of the guy that they were talking about in the article, and all the information in the obituary matched up with the article. It matched up with what I have in the tree. So I've got this triangle going. And I sort of thought, okay, so we are matching up in different places. So we're matching up with information I already have in the tree. Information from the obituary is matching up with information in the article. So I have the right obituary for the right to match up with the right person. And it seems that they all hook up with this person in my tree. So I'm not concluding yet that it's the same person. I am pretty sure it is the same person, but I'm going to do some more research um, and see if I can find more information to 100% verify that they are the same people. So yeah, it was kind of cool, but I didn't want to get too much into that because I am working on a tree for a client. So I worked on my mum's mystery just for a short bit while I had a lunch break, working on my client's family tree, and now searching the maternal side of the family, which is kind of fun. Because there was a bunch of information about the paternal side and not a lot of information about the maternal side. So it's a challenge, and I love challenges. So so I've been working on that, and then just having a nice, just making it an easy day, not a busy work day, but an easy day. And I sat and read for a little bit and took a nap. It was nice to take a nap. Don't know why I had an overwhelming urge to take a nap, but I took a nap. And Zeffy was conked out in her bed, has been conked out in her bed most of the day. Although she would flip between the couch where the sun was shining, because I have pulled back half of the reflectix that's on the window, so the sun can come in, so I don't have to run the heater during the day. So during these cooler temperatures, we can still heat up the RV by having the sun come in a controlled way, because it's like almost 80 degrees inside the RV, yet outside it's like 69. So having that sun coming in just through that one window is enough to heat up the vehicle, help the vehicle heat up, which has been nice. So we haven't had to have the heater on, either the gas heater or the other. I do have to call the office on Monday morning when they get in and, see if they have a propane delivery service. I still haven't got a call back on the message I left on Thursday with them, with the answering service on Thursday afternoon. Haven't heard back from any of them, so I'm going to call them on Monday and say, do you have a delivery service that comes in to deliver propane to RVs, so I can get my tank filled up? It's sitting just above a quarter tank, and I checked it probably about a week and a half to 2 weeks ago, and it was just under a half. So during that time, I've only used just under a quarter tank. And the only time I have the gas I've left on all the time at the moment, but the only time I actually use the gas is overnight, because the heating in here is forced air, but the heat comes from the propane. So it's a gas heater, but it's forced air. So and it only comes on if we drop below 55 in the RV. 55? Yeah, 55 in the RV. And Zeffy's having her 2 cents worth. Listen to that, Zeffy girl. She just got up, stretched, and now she's on the couch looking out the window. And she's got her feet up on the back of the couch, so there is something out there that has got her attention. Hey, Zeffy girl. I tell you, her poses at times are just, she's got such these incredible lines on her body. There's incredible lines on her body when she's in certain poses and things. Come here. Where's your ball? Bring me your ball. You're hearing it here first. Come up here. No? You just want to stand there and get scratches. Okay. Now, you totally made me forget what I was talking about. I have no idea what I was talking about. Oh, well. Oh, the propane tank. So, yeah, the heat only comes on at night when we go below 55 degrees. It brings it back up to 55, 56, somewhere around there, and then cuts out again. So we're not using a lot of gas, and in the evenings or first thing in the morning when I wake up, I've got a little ceramic fan heater that I put on. Turn the gas off, turn the RV heat off, put the fan on, the little fan heater on, and that goes for probably a couple of hours, and then I unplug it, and we have the blinds open so the sunshine can come in, and it warms up the vehicle nicely. So it's been working really, really well. So kind of pleased with how all that's coming together. But anyway, so tonight is going to be a nice quiet night. We didn't get to watch Die Hard 2 yesterday. We watched Die Hard 1 on Christmas Day. No, sorry, on Christmas Eve. No, when did we watch that one? Wednesday? Is it Wednesday I watched that? Yeah, because Christmas Eve I did a double feature. There was the candle, the Christmas candle, and Santa and Pete on Christmas Eve. So it must have been the Wednesday that we did Die Hard 1. So I'm thinking I might do Die Hard 2 tonight. I don't know. I don't know which movie I'm going to watch tonight. I really don't. I'm not sure if I'm up for another Christmas movie or get back into some action movies or some other movies. But we'll see. We'll see. But we did get through 6 movies yesterday, so it was kind of cool. Like I said, I don't remember the names of any of them except for one that was a Christmas Wish, and that was a really really cool story about a woman being deserted, having her husband run off with the hair. Oh, he ran off with the hairstylist. That's right. He ran off with the hairstylist, with the local hairdresser, and took all the money out of their accounts and left her with whatever she had. She had a little secret stash, but it was only like a couple of $100, and in this old beat up car and 3 kids. And so she just left their house because she couldn't afford to pay the rent and went off looking for something else and driving to find work. And she comes into this little town, and it was interesting to see her experiences in this little town and with the people, and how um, her being in the town actually changed the town, which was kind of interesting. But it was a really cool story. So that's it from us for today. I've still got all my snacky stuff left. Some of my snacky stuff left over from yesterday. So I'm probably gonna throw a plate together tonight for dinner and enjoy that. I found some cans of pure pumpkin. I was like, ooh, I wonder if I can make a pumpkin soup. So the Instapot does soup, so I'm going to look up some pumpkin soup recipes to see if I have all the ingredients already on hand to do that. And excuse me, there is an extreme high of dust and dander. I've got one of my weather apps talks about allergies in the air, and the mold, the mildew, one of the other ones is down low, but dust and dander is they're saying extremely high, and is causing the air quality not to be so good. So but we've been airing out the RV today because it was just getting too stuffy from all the cooler temperatures and stuff we've had lately. So but we'll be shutting it up shortly, and yeah, and the dust and dander has been getting up my nose and causing all sorts of issues there. But I take my anti-allergy combination of oils at night, which is 1 ounce. I've got a little shot glass. It's a 1 ounce shot glass, and in there I put the water, and you add 3 drops of peppermint, 3 drops of lavender, and 3 drops of lemon oil. You do have to make sure that the oils are ones that you can digest. And I use doTERRA oils for that, and so 3 drops each of those. Hold it in your mouth for 30 seconds before you swallow it, and it helps clear my sinuses for the evening, and it actually helps with allergy attacks. I have also found it good for resetting body clocks too when I've been traveling and things. It's one of my it's one of my go-to remedies for overcoming jet lag. So it's been very good for that too. Not that a lot of people have to worry about that these days, but it's just a little information to keep behind your head. And then I have an On Guard blend, which I put into a capsule, and take that each night too, and it helps boost my super immune system. So keeping myself healthy and taking precautions where I need to, and taking care of allergy stuff that way. I don't want to take the allergy stuff in the morning because the lavender kind of knocks me out. Because it's restful and calming and all that sort of stuff. But I tell you, I get really good night's sleep with that combination. And it's fun. Last night I would usually go to sleep on my left side, and Zeffie sleeps on the left side of the bed. And so she was all covered up in her little nest there, and I threw her little blanket over top of her. And when I turn on my left side, my left arm is now out in the cold because it kind of sits up next to the pillow. So I pulled some of her blanket over my arm, and I did that, and she stretched, and her paw ended up in my hand. And so I'm just laying there going to sleep with Zeffie's paw in my hand. It was so cute, because normally if her paw's in my hand, she kind of pulls it away after a bit. But she actually let it there, and I actually had my hand kind of closed, not fully closed around it, but just loosely closed around it. And I don't know how long we laid there like that for, but I fell asleep with her paw in my hand. So it was kind of cute. And it was one of her back legs too, so yeah, she's a little more sensitive with the front legs, but it was kind of cute that she had stretched and put her paw in my hand and left it there. So cute. She doesn't get that affectionate that often with stuff like that. Still getting her used. You'd think after 13 months she'll be used to this by now. Still go and pick her up every now and again and just have cuddles with her and that sort of stuff. And sometimes she accepts it and sometimes she doesn't. But today I got up and she was like moaning, and so I said, "Do you want to dance?" And she comes running over in front of me, leaps up and puts her front paw, and her front paws come just up on my stomach here. And I picked it and I put her front paws in my hand and we did her little two-step, and then she jumps out and says, "You want to dance again?" Like, I'm still dancing. I said, "You want to dance again?" So she jumps up again and does that. So she knows what to do when I ask her if she wants to dance. She comes running up to me up front and jumps up and puts her front paws on my stomach, and as far as she can reach. And we have out, and she does her little two-step. So it's kind of cute. Um, but yeah, gotta go take her for a WALK now and see where she goes with that. But anyway, I hope you've all had a super fantastic sparkling shake it up. Oh, what did you do to shake up things today? What did you do to shake up things today? Did you do anything new today? Did you plan? How did your planning go for next year? I did some planning today. I've still got a lot more planning to do for next year, but really cool because my paper planner will start on Monday because it's got the 28th. My planner starts on a Monday week and goes through. So because the first is on a Friday, I've got the 28th. So I'm like, yes, I can get into my new planner. I don't have to have two planners sitting on my desk anymore. So that's exciting. And yesterday when I was one of the things I did at lunchtime is the author that I follow a lot, he had a Zoom, and there was, like I said, like 8 of us on there in total. And one of the things that came out of that was people were talking about the lost art of letter writing. And we got talking about that, and I thought, well, I send cards all the time. I send magazine articles. And this woman was sitting there talking about things that her dad used to send and all that. And I'm like, well, I do that all the time. And, but what we're going to do is that he's actually going to start up a pen. He's saying that he wants to take part of a pen pal program. And I'm like, I thought that would be so cool. And that was an idea that came out of our discussions yesterday. Is that he's going to start a pen pal program. We're not exactly sure on all the logistics and things and how we're going to find the pen pals. If we're going to do people within our group, or if we're going to go outside of our group. Not sure which way that's going to go. But I thought that is so cool. Wouldn't that be cool just to send a letter, just communicate with somebody once a month, send them a letter, some of the highlights of your month, maybe a memory from a road trip you've done, a vacation you took, service, if you were in the services, something that happened while you were in there, places that you grew up in. And I thought back to the years when I was in New Zealand, all the years that I had pen pals. I had pen pals all over the world. I had some in the UK, I had one in Thailand, I had a couple here in the States. In fact, I got to meet one of the ones that I had here in the States. Who lives in upstate New York by the Finger Lakes. I got to actually meet her in person, which was amazing because we've been writing for 10 years before we finally got to meet in person. And Brad and I did a weekend trip up there, up to Keuka Lake, and we stayed in Hammersport at the southern end of Keuka Lake and got to spend a couple of days with my pen pal. And they're on a vineyard there that has been in her husband's family for it's now with her son, and so it's been in the family for 8 generations now. 8 generations of this family have run this vineyard, and they sell the grapes to the local wineries. So I thought it was such a cool history up there and all that. But at one point, I used to have like 30 pen pals all over the world. But there were some that were in non-English speaking countries that wanted to learn English. So I had to be very careful with some of the terminology I used and made sure I wrote very clearly so they could easily read it and that sort of thing. But I had pen pals in Thailand. I had ones in France. I had a lot in the UK and Scotland and Ireland, places where my ancestry was from. I had this really funny guy from York. He was hilarious. He sent me the funniest letters. And we'd do things like, I'm really going to do it myself here, cassette tapes. We would record stuff on cassette tapes and send them. And one guy who I had, I had a guy in New York, and he made up his tapes, a tape of his favorite songs. And I still have a tape recorder. I still have that tape. And there's some really cool songs on that tape. I don't have it with me right now because it's in storage, but I still remember some of the songs from that, and I actually have them on my playlists. So when they come up, I automatically think of this. I can't remember what his name is though. I know with the cassette it has his name on it. But yeah, he was in New York. I had a girl, so I had the girl in upstate New York. I had a couple of girls in Canada that I was writing to. Where else did I have pen pals? I had a few that were in Australia, and I didn't care if they were male or female. If they wanted to write to me, I was happy to write to them. And so yeah, so we're thinking of starting up a pen pal thing again, putting actual letters in the mail, because this group yesterday started talking about how people don't know how there's a lost art in letter writing these days, because most people send everything via email. There's nothing really personalized about it. Yet the art of sending letters is a dying art. Sending a letter saying, hi, how are you, and giving the updates for the month and that sort of things, and actually putting in an envelope, putting an address on it, sticking a stamp on it, and sending it. And I'm just sitting there thinking, well, I still do that. I don't have, I have some people that I will send cards to, and some of them, most of the cards I put personal notes in them. So it was very, very interesting to have that conversation about pen pals. And so, so we're going to be starting up a pen pal club. So it will be interesting to see how that goes, and I will keep you posted on that. So I've already volunteered to join the club because he put out the call today, who wants to join it, and I'm like, I am so in on this one. I loved it when I had pen pals, and being in New Zealand, I could learn about different places around the world, places I wanted to go and visit, eventually go visit, and having and talking to people from some of those countries, talking to people from countries where my ancestors came from too was pretty cool as well. So you can learn a lot through letter writing. It is a lost art. People don't write letters as much anymore. So the wheels are turning. I've got to go think on some things before I start making announcements on those things. And if you want to join us, we've got the book club is up and running. The Love to Read book club is up and running, and our first book is going to be Tom Sawyer. It's going to be our first book, and we're going to have our first meeting on February 6th, because we're going to have a month to read the book, and then on February 6th we will announce what our second book is, and we've got a month to read it, and then we'll come back, talk about the book, and plan our next one. So if you would like to be part of the book club, I am going to put the link to the group in the description of this video, so you guys can come join us. Our first book is going to be Tom Sawyer. First meeting's on February 6th. It's going to be the first Saturday of every month. I'm still deciding on the time of day, because I've got to worry about different time zones, and make sure I'm not. And it's difficult when you got to, when you're talking just continental US, you got a 3-hour time spread between, and 4 different times. Hang on, you got time zones to worry about. Put it that way. So I'm probably just going to pick a time and say that's it. We'll do it then. I just don't know whether I'm going to do morning or afternoon, because I know a lot of people are busy on Saturdays with school sports, and I'm actually not really doing sports right now, so it wouldn't really matter, would it? Anyway, if you want to join our book club, click the link that is in the description below and of this video, and come join us. We're going to be reading Tom Sawyer as the first book. And this whole book club is all about reading the classics, and we are going to be tying the classics into genealogy. So you're going to be asked 2 questions every time we get a book to read. The first question is going to be, do you have anybody in your family tree that was in that time and location mentioned in the book? And the second question is, what do you know about that person in your family tree? What occupations did they have? What was their lifestyle like during that time? So we're going to be tying in history and fiction together and seeing what comes out of it. So anyway, I'm out of here. I've rambled on long enough. Have a super fantastic sparkling evening, and we'll catch you guys tomorrow for Serenity Sunday. And I'll get to use my new masks tomorrow as part of my Serenity Sunday pampering session. He konera.